Immortal Works Flash Fiction Friday, Episode 25, October 15th, by Anonymous. Read for you by Jason King. I've never tried keeping a journal before. It's just not something that ever appealed to me. But since what's happened, I feel like I just can't keep it to myself anymore. And not being able to tell anyone, writing it down seems to be my only option. Yeah, so here it goes. My name is Lanny. Well, actually my name is Lawrence, but the only one that calls me that is my grandma. She's dead, by the way. Dead because of me. Because of my choices. That's a weird place to start, so I won't start there. I'm going to go back 6 months, to the night that I found it. That's funny. I still don't even know what it is. I certainly don't know where it came from. The only thing I know is that it's made everything go wrong. Right, back to that night. It was a Thursday. My birthday, actually. I'm 16, and so it was an extra special birthday. The long-awaited time when I would finally be old enough to get my license, which meant freedom. My dad took me to the DMV that morning. He's a day trader, so he was home. And because it was such an important day, he let me stay home from school. It was when we went to get my license that the day started to go wrong. I passed the written test no problem, but the road test... Let's just say that anyone who hits a pedestrian while being evaluated by the DMV officer shouldn't ask if they can still pass. I'm not stupid, it's just that the woman I hit was just fine, and really it was her fault for getting in my way. Well, the instructor didn't see it like that, and to this day I'm without a license. To make matters worse, my parents had bought me a car for my birthday. Talk about adding insult to injury. It was meant to be a surprise, which I guess it was. I felt sick when I saw it. Now, we're not rich, so it wasn't anything new or special. It was quite ugly, in fact, but it was mine. A midnight blue 1992 Pontiac Grand Prix with only 175,000 miles on the odometer. I had big plans for that piece of junk. I was going to give it a new paint job, a sweet system with a gigantic subwoofer that I'd put in the trunk, and of course, fuzzy dice hanging from the rearview mirror. It was a cruel, cruel trick fate had played on me, the first of many. After some begging and pleading, I was able to get the keys with a solemn promise that I would leave my car parked in the driveway until I got my license, something that would likely be postponed on account of my having run down that jogger. It was no surprise then when Mom wouldn't even let me take it for a short ride around the block. Later that night I got another fun surprise that evidenced that I had become the universe's latest joke. Allie, my girlfriend, texted me those 7 words that have probably caused more suicides or goth converts than all other tragedies combined. They were, I think we should see other people. For those who may not be familiar with dating culture, that sentence is girl code for, I'm dating your best friend. And yes, I'm not exaggerating, Allie really was dating my best friend, Blake. Though I have a tendency to ramble, this is actually important as it explains why I snuck out of my room and stole my own car. I had no idea where I was going, but I needed to get away from home and at least pretend that something had gone right that day. I should have left my phone, but I took it with me in case Allie changed her mind. Yeah, right. Like my texts begging her to reconsider would make any difference or even get replies. Apparently texting, crying, and driving on a rural road at night is a great way to get into an accident. That's right. I wrecked my new car, the perfect capstone to my birthday of sorrows. Luckily, or maybe not so luckily, I wasn't hurt even though I rolled my car. After taking a good 10 minutes to find my phone, I unbuckled my seatbelt and climbed out of the driver's side window. After overcorrecting to avoid hitting a deer, I had swerved off the road, rolled down a hill, and was now in a shallow gully. Stupid deer. I wandered around my upside-down car, trying to get some reception on my phone so I could call my dad. It was midway through a tirade of frustrated curses that I heard something above me and to my right. I froze, instantly worried that my ranting had attracted the attention of some wild animal, or worse, a homeless man. After a long moment of quiet, I dismissed the noise and went back to fiddling with my phone. I guessed that my inability to get a signal probably meant the phone was toast. I cocked my arm back and was about to lob the phone into the dark shroud of trees when a voice from behind startled me. Help me. I made a thoroughly manly squeal and whipped around to find a man in fatigue standing just a few feet away. Get back, I said, and aimed my phone at him as though it were a weapon. The man's only reaction was a nervous glance over his right shoulder. Then he fell to his knees. "Are you okay?" was the only thing I could say. The man looked up at me and in a hoarse voice whispered, "You cannot let him get it." It was while I was staring down at the man that I noticed that the front of his clothes were stained with a dark liquid that had to be blood. "Who?" I asked stupidly. The man didn't answer. Instead, he fell dead at my feet. Thanks for listening to Flash Fiction Friday, episode 25. Again, and always, if you have a flash fiction story that you want to share with the world on our podcast, flash fiction being 500 to 1,500 words by our definition, then please send it to submissions@immortal-works.com.